So we set ourselves up for a disaster. We didn't listen to even Teddy Roosevelt, who said, walk softly, carry a big stick. If we were to go in there, that was our time to go in there with force and to demonstrate our commitment to democracy in that island. We lost that chance. We will never gain that opportunity again. We lost the confidence of this Congress. We lost the confidence of the American people. And we lost the confidence of the world, because we are now a laughingstock when it comes to our creating or supporting democratic institutions, whether it's in the Western Hemisphere or anywhere else.
With the gentleman yield for
Let me say one more thing, if I may. That same policy is the policy that has caused the murders of those who would seek freedom and democracy in Port-au-Prince. My heart aches for those people. But they were set up, and now they are being murdered. And what's going to be so sad is if November 1st comes and goes, and nothing has occurred. Now our only hope, and thank you for pointing out what we've done with sanctions. This administration's policy of sanctions are the worst thing we could do to the people. We've put those people out of jobs. We've made them more dependent on seeking a way to our shores or a reason to come to our shores. Sanctions are dumb. They're stupid. They are idiotic to impose on a country, and you are exactly right. The military leaders, the elite have gas, they have supplies. The people are out of jobs, out of work. They're desperate. So we have become a paper tiger. We have hurt the people that we should be helping, and we will not restore democracy to that land. So it is a sad day. Now our only hope is the United Nations. And if we don't get behind the United States, the United Nations, in some final effort, and the whole thing's become bizarre because, again, who's going to look up to the United States? What do we do? So I commend you so much for bringing this to the attention. I apologize for taking so much time, but I had to go over with you my personal involvement in this issue and what it means to the people of the state of Florida and myself personally.
John, I thank you for being a part of the special order. That's a great contribution. You quoted the great quote from Teddy Roosevelt, speak softly and carry a big stick. Somebody suggested our foreign policy now is that we have a broken stick and we've lost our voice. And it certainly, I think, indicates the misdirection that we have. Let me yield to the gentleman from Colorado. We're glad to have you here as part of this special order today.
Thank you, and I thank the gentleman for yielding just a few minutes. Let me say that over the weekend I was back in Colorado. It was snowing in Colorado, by the way, and so I was in watching a little TV and noticed that the president had come on, and they asked the president in some of these newscasts, what about the CIA reports about this Estede, that this guy isn't exactly a guardian angel, that the fellow that our government is trying to put back in power isn't exactly what people of this country may think that he is. I was surprised by that report, but what surprised me more was the president's response to the Central Intelligence Agency and the president's administration's response, discounting significantly any kind of information that the CIA offered in regards to this Estede. So I wanted to take a look at little Estede, and I'll keep my comments limited to a couple minutes, but let me say that in November, I did a little research, looked back here, and in November, the Cato Institute critique on the Haiti policy, and let me read it. It says, the United States and the Organization of American States have so far achieved precisely the opposite of what they intended. Their policy has provoked human rights violations, further impoverished a destitute nation, helped degrade the environment, worsened public health conditions, encouraged drug smuggling, and failed to achieve its primary goal, restoring democracy. I don't know what we're about to send back down there in this Estede. I guess not being up on Haiti as a freshman congressman, I am stunned that our government is about to put even young American men and women's lives at risk to restore this character Estede. But let me go on with a couple other comments. This is from the Washington Post. Now, let me give you the date, December 18th, 1992. During his 7-month rule, when Haiti needed someone to bridge social divisions, Aristide exasperated class strife. He showed brazen intolerance for those who didn't support him And he condoned violence and mob terror. In fact, the new leader all but urged his followers to necklace opponents, execute opponents. Let me go on a little further. And this is curious. You always look at somebody like a Steed. Every time I see the guy, he's in a brand new suit. He's well-groomed, very well-groomed. Every time they show him walking out somewhere, he gets in a limousine. I'm curious as to where he gets the money. My understanding, maybe the gentleman in California said that, my understanding is he's getting about $900,000 a month. $900,000 a month is being released to him from frozen assets out of Haiti. Now, what is going on here?
Swiss banks, too.
Well, yeah. I mean, and then to throw it on top of all this confusion, and these are the kind of mysteries that, as a former police officer, it just puts more questions in my mind. What is Ron Brown? Didn't he represent him? Maybe one of the gentlemen up here can help me out a little. Wasn't Ron Brown, before he was the Secretary of Commerce, wasn't he a lobbyist for Haiti down there and for one of these regimes? What are all these connections? I mean, this is incredible. And the more the story goes on, I know that others like to speak, but...
I just want to ask the gentleman to yield for a minute to ask a question about that.
Well, let me finish one of the comments, then I would be happy to yield for a question. What is required? Is a policy aimed at advancing the interests of the Haitian people rather than one that promises a steed? If nothing happens and life remains as bleak as it is today for the Haitian people. Now, mind you, this is a quote from it comes out of the Washington Post in December. If nothing happens and life remains as bleak as it is today for the Haitian people, then they grimly predict that up to 200,000 Haitian boat people may hit U.S. shores, and who blames them? I mean, if that guy came into my backyard and I could go into your backyard and get the kind of benefits that are offered by this country, I'd go into your backyard. There are U.S. intelligence estimates that 100,000 people are ready to depart Haiti, and that doesn't take a rocket scientist. We know they're down there. And we know they're ready to land on your shores. Yet we're going to take the driving force to push these people into this country. A fellow that's got $900,000 a month, that we know the CIA says this guy ain't so good. He's not all he's built up to do. In fact, he violates, I mean, if we could take the United States laws, criminal laws, and apply it towards this gentleman, he'd be in prison for the rest of his life, if not executed in this country. But instead, we support him. We call him the guiding light of democracy, and we're ready to restore him back in Haiti. It's amazing. I would yield.
With the gentleman yield for a second. We're in the full House, and I discussed this with the gentleman from Arkansas. Let's ask him unanimous consent to put this entire December 18th column of Mr. Lally Weymouth in the record, along with his full January 24th column earlier in this year. In other words, in our busy day around here, this has been kicking around for almost the whole year, and we're just now, with all of our other duties, enabled to focus on this. By the way, I want to get it right, because we're going to hear more of it, I'm afraid, if we use the lives of our young men and women in harm's way to force him back. His term for this cruelest of all deaths, putting a tire around someone, and the tire is filled with gasoline or turpentine, so as it's set on fire, and as you run, the gasoline splashes out of the tire and continues to burn you alive. He calls that père, as in father, P-E-R-E, Lebrun, L-E-B-R-U-N. That's the name of the guy that's one of his main financial supporters. And I wanted to give one final paragraph from that Vatican column of Reuters out of Rome, and then I want to ask John a couple of questions, because he's the expert of our 50 states closest to Cuba and Haiti. It says, the Vatican blames Mr. Aristide, this just underscores what you said, for the assault on the papal nuncio of the Vatican mission in Port-au-Prince in January. This built up to his overthrow that September by a crowd unhappy with the church's official position toward the exiled president. The Vatican ambassador, who is an Italian archbishop, was stripped to, the word they use is underpants, and his assistant was both stripped and severely beaten in the attack, and you said possibly his legs were broken. What I wanted to, with the gentleman's permission, to ask John, Mr. Mike, you said that all the HIV-infected people had been brought here on flights from Guantanamo. Are we still putting just general refugees we pick up at sea? Now, a Coast Guard ship snuck into Port-au-Prince quietly and deposited, I think they said, 24 people last night or this morning that were picked up, saved from the high seas. But are we still putting Haitians that are found on the high seas, surviving shark attack and dehydration, Are we bringing them into Florida or taking them back to Guantanamo?
I believe that we are taking them into Florida, but now you have created this situation where you may truly have questions raised as far as political amnesty, and they will immediately claim political refugee status, which is a very murky area. Basically, this administration, because its lack of enforcement, has created an atmosphere that allows anyone to make that claim. We've also created a new category of entrants, which are HIV infected. In spite of the law, we have allowed them in. We've allowed that judge's decision to stand. But let me say this, that Haiti will not go away. And Haiti is an integral part of the Western Hemisphere. It has been a neglected nation. There is no reason that Haiti should exist the way it does today, except some of the failed policies of the past, where we've given tremendous amounts of aid, and it's ended up in Swiss bank accounts, where we pay for studies, but we don't pay for the thing that has made this country successful, which is helping people to help themselves. Our policies have been handouts. We have an AID program, and we have missions all over this world that are giving out money. And once that money is gone, it's either, again, in a Swiss bank account or on some project. It is not established in a fashion to create an entrepreneur, to promote business. The thing that will make Haiti a success, that will keep Haitians from our shores and independent, proud people that they are, is their economic success. So if we can do business and trade and show them how to do that, and they're great people. These are people who want to work, and they want the same things Americans want. They want a home, they want transportation, they want a job, just like Americans do. And that's the problem with this Congress, is where it's easier to give aid, it's easy to some foreign country, it's easier to give aid to these cities. I heard yesterday one of the speeches that absolutely just brought me almost to tears, when one of our representatives from Detroit told me that 20,000 Americans showed up for job applications because of a post office job opportunity in Detroit. The highest amount of unemployment in the United States, I think somewhere in 15%. But those policies in Detroit or those policies in Port-au-Prince have failed. And that's what needs to be addressed. That's what can raise all the boats, all the people to success. And that's the positive note that I leave on.
The gentleman, if reclaiming my time,
just
Bob,
a unanimous consent request.
Yes, go right ahead. I yield to the gentleman from California.
All right, and then you please close this. The letter that you helped circulate with Mr. Doolittle and myself, the 1.5 million audience watching now will say, well, you're criticizing the president. What are you offering? I want to ask unanimous consent to put in the record yours, mine, Mr. DeLay's, Mr. Doolittle's October 8th letter to the president giving him suggestions. Put in Mr. Dole's article in yesterday's Washington Times that Aristide is not worth one American life, that he's not the Thomas Jefferson of Haiti. I just want to get those in.
Thank you, Mr. Dornan. And just wrapping this up, and I don't have time to expand on this, we're not against the nation of Haiti. As John so eloquently said, they are a proud people. They are a nationalistic people, and our heart goes out to them. And it is not enough to criticize American foreign policy. I want to suggest 4 components of what we need to do very quickly. We need to, number 1, refrain from sending U.S. military personnel to Haiti. It would be a recipe for disaster to send lightly armed American troops into Haiti. We need to lift the economic embargo on Haiti. All that is doing is hurting those who are already most hurting. It is only causing greater starvation, greater hunger, greater chaotic economic conditions. Thirdly, we need to de-link the U.S.-Haiti policy from Aristide. We need to drop our support for Aristide as being the sole one who can restore democracy to Haiti. And I think there has been adequate testimony and evidence presented during this special order to show, indeed, that Aristide is the wrong one for us to be backing. And then fourthly, we need to promote U.S. interest and encourage a political compromise in Haiti through the OAS, through the United Nations, and through the good offices of the Roman Catholic Church. I'm out of time. I would like to. I think we need another special order on the subject of Haiti. But let me just say, I've gone to Haiti. I spent time. My church sponsors a mission there, a school there. We send food there. We send clothes there. I've spent 8 days down there myself helping and working with those people. And we need to do all that we can to continue to do that. Our heart goes out to the people of Haiti.
Eh bien bon, c'est comme ça que nous te prenons opportunité pour nous te passer pour ça nous te promettons. Parce que à chaque fois que nous parlons, tout le monde toujours pense que c'est paroles que nous avons causées, c'est paroles que nous avons fait. Donc pour même qui pas comprendre anglais, nous allons essayer de traduire pour qui ça t'a fait là. Donc c'était un meeting qui était gagné, en réunion entre les sénateurs. Et comme ça que nous avons un pile sénateur qui t'a parlé, il y a là-dedans qui décrit, premier sénateur qui paraît là, il t'a parlé de Haïtiens qui ont sida, qui viennent et Guantanamo, qui a coûté Américains en pile l'argent. Et comme ça, on dit que dans bagay ça yo, eh bien, État doué près de 150 millions de dollars. Eh bien, ça c'est un gros tête chargé que le TIE, surtout pour sénateur Floride là, que tout Haïtien est venu la Kaili et que qui coûtait près de 10 millions de dollars. Mais ça qui te fait plus triste, c'est que c'est comme ça que les a parlé de Haïtiens. Il faut connaître que Haïtien a sida, il pas même connaître s'il a sida, il pensait que c'est préjugé qu'il a fait sur lui, etc., etc. Tout simplement, ça n'a pas besoin d'arriver jusque-là. Donc, c'est peut-être ça que m'a fait toute possibilité pour me capable aider nous comprendre bagaille bien, pour nous capable voir que moi-même moi dans intérêt nous. Donc ensuite, discussion est continuée, nous avons un sénateur et Mika qui était comme moi dit qui était de la Floride, et puis nous avons un sénateur Robert qui décrit que Jean-Bertrand Aristide c'est Père Lebrun que le pratiquait et que il était un rapport de Vatican en main côté que expliquer comment que nos apostoliques là ils étaient maltraités li, ils étaient fait monsieur marcher sans pantalon, ils étaient cassé son pied secrétaire li, etc., etc. Donc on yo gagne tout rapport ça en main yo. Donc il faut connaître que Haïti c'est moun haïtien ou c'est bon moun yo yé. Moun haïtien yo pas moun pour moun a plonger main ba yo, son peuple indépendant. Eh bien, c'est comme ça, il n'est pas bon pour Américains entrer en Haïti pour y aller faire invasion actuellement. Donc, c'est peut-être ça, ils ont décidé que Jean-Bertrand Aristide, que tout le monde pensait qu'on seigneur que lié, et que ils ont gagné un rapport de CIA, ils n'ont pas qu'à comprendre comment que Américains sont capables de perdre du temps pour la fourrer et pour la voyer petit Américain mourir en Haïti pour Haïtiens. Et ça, c'est triste là. C'est que c'est un sénateur qui te fait connaître que yon vie, yon américain par vaut tout pays d'Haïti. Ça c'est un honte que lié. L'essentiel nous y tombé, nouvelle y tombé semaine ça. Donc par conséquent, jodi on a une opportunité pour nous parler parce que on croit que nous arrivons au point qu'on y est là, faut nous couer bagay yo. Dans nouvelle qui tombé dans semaine là, nous connaît que dans tout journal, dans toute télévision, nous apprenons que Jean-Bertrand Aristide écrit une lettre même pour te faire connaître que c'est pour faire invasion en Haïti. Donc cela veut dire Jean-Bertrand Aristide 20 pays. Jean-Bertrand Aristide a un petit pays mourir. Et comme moi te dit nous tout à l'heure là, donc jeudi c'était dernier vol Air France qui rentrait en Haïti. Donc qui ça veut dire pour nous? Cela veut dire que si parents nous mourir, nous pas rentrer pour nous aller. Si que parents nous malades, pas de façon que nous t'avons même envoyer médicaments, ni pour nous t'avons envoyer cob, pour nous t'avons sauver la vie parents nous. Cela veut dire que tout le monde en Haïti yo nomme bon Dieu. Eh bien, nous croyons que bon Dieu dans le ciel là grand pile pouvoir et nous croyons que bon Dieu dans le ciel là grand pile travail que l'a fait. Remarquez que jodi Clinton pendant le tap courir, monsieur tombé, il manquait casser rein. Eh bien, n'a suivre toujours. Remarquez que Rwanda qui te dit que faut envahir Haïti, garder ça cap privé. Nous même nous pas chambre de mal pour l'autre monde, mais l'essentiel on suit